Good morning everyone and welcome back to another video here on the channel where today we're going to take another look at our biannual tradition of looking at the best and most underrated LEGO sets of the season, this time of course focusing on summer of 2021. Now if you're new to the channel or have never been in one of these videos before, as it's fairly self-explanatory, I'm going to take a look at my personal favourite sets and sets that have got barraged by the community that I believe deserve a little more support for what they are. And how we're going to do it today is we're going to start with those sets and we'll work our way up into the sets that I'm actually looking at buying and will probably end up buying. So first up, as I mentioned, these are two sets that I'm not going to buy. However, I do think they deserve a little bit of a mention. On the right, we have a police lighthouse, which there's something about it that kind of just looks cute to me. I sort of like the build, especially from city sets, which I've significantly lowered my standards for. And I think that the boat on the left looks really fun, and there's something very Lego-y about it. And I think they deserve a little bit more credit because I've heard absolutely no one talk about them all year. And I'm pretty sure these sets came out in January or the very latest March. Anyway, two city sets that, compared to the rest of the cities, sort of stand out above the line, but we're going to move on now into Minecraft, which is another theme I have very little interest in. I watch the occasional video on YouTube, but have absolutely never picked up the game. Ones here in particular that stand out to me is the bee farm for the mobs and the inclusion of the villager and elytra, which just sort of look unique, and I think it works as a nice display piece, especially by Minecraft standards. I also really love the bee function, and then the Nether Portal is here for a similar reason, containing some new blocks and pieces and an amazing Nether Portal function that is by far the best one we've ever seen of its kind. But that's pretty much going to do it for Minecraft. As I said, there's no real interest. I think these sets just stand out above the rest. Moving on into Friends, which is another theme you will probably be surprised to see on this list, but these two are here because I think they have the most conversion potential. While I'm not particularly a lover of mini dolls, I hate them either, and I think these two sets stand out above the rest of the Friends line and provide exceptional value for both their target demographic and for just LEGO fans in general. In the park, I particularly love the gazebo build and the kite, and if you just tone down the pink on that bridge, it would be perfectly able to be converted into a city park set. As for the organic cafe, well, I think it's pretty much there. It just needs a bit more building out, turning into a proper building maybe, but I absolutely love the colour combinations and all the little breads inside. The other common denominator between these two sets is, of course, the micro friend doll figure. Okay, and we start to move into sets now that if I had unlimited budget, I probably would pick up. And on the left, we have the Adidas Superstar, which has received an absolute amazing amount of hate from the adults in the fan community. And I think for what it is, which is a Lego shoe, it looks great. I don't understand why people are upset about this one. For the square shape of Lego, this looks absolutely amazing, and they've done an absolute great job. Considering there was that exclusive shoe last year, which no one was able to get, or this is a huge step up, and official Lego laces are always a win. The absolute build techniques inside are amazing, as well as the fact that they included that 2x3 in the inside to represent stepping on Lego, and also the packaging here is absolutely great. So this set deserves absolutely 0% of the hate it's been getting, and I think it looks incredible. The same is the case for the typewriter, which personally I have no interest in apart from the keys and the colour, but to me it deserves the credit it should be getting, mainly because I think it reminds me of the NES in a way. The NES had this absolutely incredible build, which was really, really special, and I'm pretty sure that the typewriter here is a similar level of mechanical masterpiece, which I really think deserves more credit than it's been getting. Yeah, maybe boring or not up your street, or may not be actually able to print letters, which I think is the bar for me, but it does look incredibly accurate and has the majority of the functions, which for LEGO these days is just an incredible thing to see. Into the realms of space, we have the Trexler Marauder from Star Wars on the right, and Starship Discovery or Space Shuttle Discovery or whatever you want to call it from the Creator Expert line, or should I say 18 plus on the left. Starting with the Trexler Marauder, it's a really small Star Wars set, which I believe is fairly priced, contains 4 amazing minifigures. It's great to have a Stormtrooper army builder, and that, of course, that crate piece from the Mos Eisley set. This is honestly great. I think it looks nice, despite it just being blocks of grey and light grey. It has a lot of functions for its set of its size, especially compared to some other Star Wars ships. I'm looking at you, Moff Gideon's cruiser or whatever your name is. The other thing I wanted to point out that for a ship or person transport, it actually is able to transport people, which is a really big advantage for a set like this, especially when it comes to how it stands in my mind. And I think it just looks nice as well. Moving on to the Starship Discovery, I'm going to keep calling it that, but it's a space shuttle. This one's just incredible to me. It looks stunning, and the fact that Lego have done this before and this is their new best version, this one just stands out and really represents what this modern age of Lego is to me. It's honestly incredible what they've been able to do with this one, especially when you look back at what the other ones look like, and I'm so blown away by how this one looks. And while for me personally, I prefer the Saturn V, it's just not quite my style of build. I can't deny that this is something really, really special. Next up, we have some sets for me to defend. I don't really need to talk about the helmets. They just look great, especially when you line them all up like that in that picture up above. So, good on Star Wars. I like the helmets. But more specifically, I'm here to defend Star Wars Midi scale. Now, these sets have received the most amount of hate out of anything this year because they're repetition of it popular ships that we've only just had. And they're cheaper and less significant and don't look as good. But these sets are crucial for the future of Lego and are so, so special. The fact that you can now buy a TIE Fighter and an X-Wing, which is conflict that children need to have between these ships instead of having to buy them separately for almost £100 each. The fact that these are now 50% cheaper and still look great is so, so important, I think. As well as this, they don't look that bad. Yeah, they may be the fifth one in your collection, but you forget you're not Lego's target demographic. People phase out of Lego in 2.5 years, so this is catching all those new 7 to 9-year-olds, and they look great. They're cheapified, which perfectly goes up my alley. They're smaller, more displayable, more playable, and they cover all of your key bases from key vehicles. The Shuttle and Boba Fett Starship do look good as well. I would have preferred if the Boba Fett Starship was pretty much the same as the Cloud City one, but they've made some good improvements here using new pieces available to them. Overall, these four look great and they should not be receiving any of the hate that they have been. Next up, we go into the realm of Mario, which I'm pretty sure you guys aren't surprised showed up on this list today as we head towards the top. On the right, we have the Resner Lockdown, which to me epitomates everything about the wackiness of the LEGO Mario system, with some great buildable characters, a buildable Toad, and just some wacky play features. I mean, look at them. Overall, it's a set that maybe doesn't have the most visual appeal, but I think it looks great, looks crazy, and fits the Mario aesthetic perfectly. Over on the left, I'm a bit worried that I put this on here only because of its box art, but I'll get to that in a second. I think the set looks alright. I don't mind the colour combination, and the figure is nice. The play feature looks interesting with the smacking tilts. I can't wait to see how that works. But most of all, this set's here because it uses the vertical box art. I love it when small sets of about this price range use the vertical box art instead of the horizontal. It adds a lot of variety to the shelf layout, and I'm just a sucker for it ever since I did my custom Mazkosha box. Moving on though, we're going to some city and friend sets. On the bottom left, we have a really bright and colourful friend set. I think that the Magic theme park sub-theme is actually a really smart idea after initially not being too keen on it. I think this is probably one of the best looking ones with a nice variety of some funfair rides, and I hope there's a magic trick in there somewhere. I really like the magic tricks of the big sets, however, I think that the big top doesn't quite deliver, unlike this one. I like the colour and the little food stools, and I think it's a well-rounded set. Onto the one in the top left, though, we have this City Shopping Street, which was a retail exclusive for the road plates, and I think this is the one that uses the road plates the best. It's not humongously overpriced, but still contains a nice level of detail. However, being city set, these buildings are quite small and facade-y, so I watched a video the other month that used them as like a movie set for like a disaster movie where you'd have your giant dinosaur feet crashing down, and it's a bit like how do you describe it? Like a 2D movie set, which I think is a really nice way that you could use this. And this has really elevated my opinion of these sets extremely. So while they may not be the best for play, I think they'd have a good place in a city. But let's keep moving now, and this is probably another one that you're not surprised to hear. As you know, I'm a fair fan of Disney, so I was really excited to see some new Mickey and Friends outfits that are, of course, in minifigure form. If we can't get princesses and other licenses in minifigures, then this is the next best thing. On the left, I particularly like the plane for its small style and overall the Mickey minifigure, which of course reminds me of my early 2000s Disney days and Epic Mickey the video game. I also really like that Mickey is 2x2 tile. I think that's one I'm definitely going to have to pick up. And overall on the farm on the right, because that's 30 here in the UK instead of 50 in America, I think this one represents a fairly decent value for a 4+ set, with some great farmyard outfits and animals. And while the build is a bit bare bones on the inside, I think there's some decent stuff going on here. One that if I see cheap enough, I probably will pick up. Next up, we move on to a bit of speculation with the left here, where we have the Titanic rumored D2C, which is something that I'm personally very excited for. As far as it goes, it's of course a tragedy, so I hope it's done respectfully, but I'm really excited to see a model of this boat, which I learned so much about when I was younger. And then on the right, we have the T-Rex skeleton from Jurassic World, and I am more than okay to admit that I'm ashamed that this set is on this list. Compared to the dinosaur fossil set that we had a couple of years ago, this is absolutely nothing. However, this has just been Legoified in a way that makes me laugh, and I love the way this looks. I think this is so much more suitable for a LEGO museum than the Ideas set, because the Ideas set was perfect, but I just didn't get a response from it. It just was meh to me. But this I love. Moving into some cars, we have the recently revealed pickup truck, I think it's called, which is here because I love the accessories. I think it's a really nice build, one that I'm not going to pick up, but I think it deserves a lot more attention than it's been getting. It has some really nice accessory build, it's a really nice color scheme, and it's got some great shaping for creative vehicles. It just proves that creator expert sets don't have to have licenses to look good, and especially I love all the little pumpkins and carrots and tomatoes in there. I kind of almost wish this was a minifigure scale set, but then you'd never have the detail on that amazing milk canister. Honestly, that milk canister looked great. It just reminds me of a simpler time and a sort of an enlarged version of like a model car diorama. But on the left, we have Speed Champions, which is a completely different kind of car. But my love with Speed Champions comes from cars that look fast but also work on normal roads. So I'm less interested in all your dragsters and stuff, but this one stands out because this could almost be a pedestrian car with very little modifications. I also think that the techniques here and how sleek it looks is really impressive, and this one would be a great addition to my collection. However, I think I'm going to pick up the Ferrari first. Moving into some Marvel, we have the Sanctuary 2 Endgame Final Battle and in Arisham's Shadow from the Eternals movie. Starting with the Sanctuary 2, it's just adorable, isn't it? Look at his little face. Again, I hate saying it, but it's this small sort of squat proportionalized version that just looks adorable to me. I love it when they do this to vehicles. However, I probably would prefer it if it had a couple more play features other than the obligatory stud shooters and probably a cockpit. However, the Thanos minifigure more than makes up for that here, and I think that if this set is nice and well priced in the UK, this will probably be one that I pick up eventually. Honestly, I think it's a great set that deserves a lot of credit, and I really like it. However, on the right, we have one that I think looks extraordinarily cool. I don't know what it is, but as soon as I saw the fact that we were getting what's it called? Not a deviant, it's a mech celestial, that's the word. As soon as I saw that we were getting a Lego Celestial, it just felt right. I know these guys have appeared in Lego Marvel Superheroes too, and it always felt like something we'd never really get, but just looks cool. There's something about this guy that really stands out, and I think he'd look imposing on the shelf even though his knees are a bit thin. However, it looks like this one's going to be really expensive, so I'm not sure it's one that I'll ever pick up, but it looks really cool to me. And then as we move into more sets, which I think are just on the edge of my radar, we have two Ninjago dragons with the War's Dragon on the left and the Jungle Dragon on the right. Now, going back to the War's Dragon, this set has got absolutely zero attention from almost anyone, and I don't understand why. To me, it strikes the perfect balance between brick-built detail and molded heads, and it looks incredible. It also has a fairly nice side build with a great minifigure selection using those, are they called Hydro Vipers? I'm not really a Ninjago fan. Anyway, it has a nice wing feature and a swooshy tail, and I think the colour scheme looks really pretty. Overall, I think this dragon is one of the best Ninjago ones, especially compared to the Fire Dragon, which got way more attention and is actually significantly worse in my opinion. But over on the right, we also have the Jungle Dragon, which is an amazing colour scheme with the teal. I won't deny that I do like seeing a teal dragon. I also love his wacky and adorable face print with the tongue sticking out the side. He just makes him feel like a bit like a dog, and I really love that about him. There is also a great minifigure selection here, particularly the Thunder Keeper stands out to me, and it's a nice one for the cheaper price on the Dragon side of spectrums. Overall, Ninjago are continuing to step up their Dragon game, and I'm not too much of a fan of molded heads usually, but these ones work great. We've got a bit of Monkey Kid here on the side, and one on the right. You guys probably know me well enough now why this set's here. The vending machine, that's cool, but I also do love the teal highlights on the white dragon bike, which is why this set deserves high up spot on my list. I also particularly love the use of the pentagonal tiles in the wings, and I think if I ever see this set go on sale, this is a definite pickup for me. The figure selection is also fairly nice, but no, I think the ship actually does really stand out to me for this one. Over on the left, we have the Spider Arachnoid base, which is another one that really stands out to me, and I think it's just because of the movement. The fact that it's so large and still has the scuttling, it just reminds me of the Chima days, and although I was never a fan of Chima, I think this is done significantly better and looks great. Not a huge fan of the purple colour scheme, but it just feels substantial, and I think that's really important in a set these days. As we continue with our little bit of Monkey Kid, we have the Flower Fruit Mountain. And while this is a set that I think is great, I doubt I'll ever pick it up just due to how many good sets we've had over the last couple of years. However, it still deserves all the praise it's got for looking absolutely amazing and really drawing on that Far Eastern like picture style. I absolutely love the way this looks as a mountain piece, and I think some of the features here are amazing. However, it's just too many good sets this year, and I doubt I'll end up picking it up. However, one set that as a modular fan I probably do have to pick up would definitely be the Chinese New Year Temple Fair. I've always loved the Chinese New Year sets. I'm really ashamed, really, it's just upset really that I haven't been able to pick up any of them so far, but I think this is where that trend changes. Yeah, I wish the path was a bit thicker or maybe there was slightly more to the set, but I think it looks great. That pagoda is really well built with the rocks surrounding it. The river and the koi carp is great. I'm a sucker for monochrome figures, especially ones with details like the lantern statue man, and I think it just works and looks great. I'd love to have a park in my modular city. However, being a base plate and a half, it really doesn't lend itself to that particularly well. Oh well, that just means we'll have to look at modifying it, which is more content for the channel. So I think this is a great set and one that I'm pretty sure I'll end up picking up. Moving into probably more random stuff, we have the Venom bust and the seasonal bunny. Going back to the Venom bust for a second, I think this one's really well sculpted, and although people didn't particularly like how it came out, I'm also a fan of the Iron Man bust, so come at me. This guy looks great, and if the eyes were symmetrical, he would be an almost perfect bust. Yeah, it's all black, which probably means the stand should have contrasted, but for consistency's sake, I get it. I personally like this one a lot more than Carnage. Maybe that's down to the less reliance on stickers, but I think this guy looks great with that really scary mouth. It comes across so well. And another set that's been sculpted really well is the seasonal Easter Bunny. Now, I like what they did with the Brickheadz and stuff, but I'm really glad that they chose to move away from them. And here we can see it just looks great, really, doesn't it? I love that shaping on the leg, and it looks so hyper realistic, especially for a Lego set. All this is really missing is some sort of feature like that Frog Creator 3-in-1 back in the day, and this set's absolutely perfect. All the hidden details and references make it a perfect seasonal set, and I just can't get over how much like a bunny this set looks like. As we continue here, my voice is starting to get a bit tired, but we're moving into some Frozen sets here, and I know people generally aren't a fan of the movie, and these sets definitely aren't aimed at me, but having picked up the Olaf set when the movie came out, I'm really excited to eventually get my hands on Bruni the Salamander. Such an adorable little cute build with some really nice colour combos, and those leaf prints for feet is just a really good part usage. Also love the marshmallows and the opportunity to get another one of those blue snowflakes. He just looks absolutely adorable. And then the Ice Castle. Now, this set I've gone back and forwards on, and in the end, I think I've settled on it's really, really special and really, really nice to see. I really like the castle as a whole, and the interior isn't bad. I just wish it was minifigures instead of mini dolls. It would have sold so much better, and as someone that missed out on the Honor and Elsa CMFs, this would have been absolutely great to pick up with the minifigures, and I think it would have been a definite buy if that had happened. But overall, the set looks good. I just can't prioritize it. But as a fan of Disney and having the Disney castle, I think this is a set that will eventually wind its way into my collection. Moving on to some more special sets and some one-off things, we have the brick molding machine, which just sums up my love of Lego in a whole. I would absolutely kill to own this set. It looks great in the lime green color scheme. It looks like a perfect representation of what it's supposed to look like. The only thing missing is the actual ability for the molds to get pushed out and like them to fall down. I love the brown bag print, and it's the perfect commemorative set for visiting the factory or the Lego house in Billions. I'm really sad that I'm not going to be able to pick this one up, as I think it looks so great. And then on the right, we have the Everything is Awesome set, which is a great set for monochrome figures and has a really important message that I really think should be more celebrated. The fact that this exists, I think it's really brave of Lego to do. And that's about all I have to say on the topic. It's a really important set, and I'm really glad that it happened, even if it didn't get the best of the positive side of the press. Moving back into some Mario sets, we have the Chain Chomp Jungle expansion and the Like to Sky World, and these are here for different reasons. The Chain Chomp Jungle expansion is the perfect small expansion set containing 2 characters, a nice side build, a good introduction to the jungle color scheme, and the Chain Chomp, which of course, as a Zelda fan, this guy appeared in Link's Awakening, which makes him a really important character for me in particular. I think I love the way he looks. He's so iconic to the Mario series in general, and I think he'd look great in any Mario expansion course, especially considering I need a bit more purple to go with my Poison Mushroom. The Like to Sky World, for me, is mostly here because of the colours. I think it looks great, and I love the idea of the 2-player feature, but as someone that is definitely not going to pick up Lego Luigi, I think this is mostly here for the characters, and that includes the Bullet Bill, which has an incredibly expensive aftermarket price, which I'm really hoping is now going to significantly lower. Overall, the Sky World looks great. I think it's a great expansion set, but just probably not one for me. And then we're finally into sets, which I'm pretty much guaranteed to pick up, and this is the Botanical Collection. Obviously, there's 4 sets here, and I won't be buying all of them. I think I'll probably stop with just the initial flower packs, although the tulips and the roses both look great and are very tempting to me. The Birds of Paradise is a great looking set, which I think is a great follow-up to the initial Botanical Collections, but it's just a bit expensive for my tasting, and there's a lot of those Technic panels and a lot of pots for what you're getting. I think I'd prefer to have these guys in a glass vase or a Lego vase of my own construction, but I think the flowers look absolutely great. They're perfect for someone that couldn't keep a plant alive if they tried. These are the ideal solution, and they look great. I think all of the plants have been so masterfully sculptured, and for a very cheap price in the UK, I'm inspired and I'm very excited to own these sets. Next up, we move on to some small stuff, and if you guys know me once again, you know I love all this small quirky stuff. And we'll start with the Venom accessory pack, which is basically my perfect Marvel accessory pack. As someone that only owns the 2012 Spider-Man, having the arm printing and updated torso and face here looks absolutely great. The Venom is a character I've always wanted, as you saw by the bust, and the Buggy is a bit of a meme at this point, which is great to have. Having all the transparent and white blast pieces as well as those hot dogs is also a great inclusion, but having these 2 exclusive minifigures, one of which you use is the Spider Ham headpiece into pork rind, looks absolutely great as an exclusive character, and I've always wanted a Venomized Iron Man after last year's set, so to see one here with a better balance of what is Venomized and what is Iron Man looks incredible, and he is the superior figure. So this is an accessory pack which will definitely end up in my collection. Above them, we have the Lego Store Polybag, which is another perfectly small and wacky polybag, which works perfectly in my theme park. I love the idea of having this as like a portable cart, and including both a Lego Store employee, which I need for my fairground, and one of those Lego City prints, which I absolutely adore, makes this almost a perfect polybag that I think I need at least 3 of. And then we have the sequel to the food accessory pack up in the top right, and having bought the first food accessory pack just last year, I was looking for some of those more exclusive food prints which I'll be able to use in my mocks and of course in my fairground. Having an oven's always useful, but it's probably the least interesting part to me. However, the sauce bottles, baguettes, hot dogs, pretzels, and egg towers do particularly stand out. I do also love the inclusion of those giant purple grapes. Some more bananas will never go amiss. And most excitingly is the watermelon piece for sure. But considering I don't own nearly enough baguettes, hot dogs, eggs, or watermelons, I cannot wait to pick up this set. Probably only one though. Then we move into some more superhero stuff, which we have the Gauntlet on the left, which that's an incredible looking set. I love what they've done. I love how realistic it looks to a hand, and while some people may argue it's blocky, the Gauntlet is definitely a blocky thing. I love the fact that you can remove the Infinity Stones and pose him with that iconic snap. This Gauntlet just looks incredible. The only way it could be better if it was wearable, but I like this scale because it's actually a fairly affordable price, and all of those pearl, or should I say drum lacquered gold pieces will go to great use. Honestly, it just looks incredible. I can't get over how good that Gauntlet came out. And on the right is an interesting set that made it up this high. When I heard this set was rumoured, I was initially very excited to get my hands on the Cesar Romero Joker, as that's a very special figure to me. However, the Batmobile looks pretty good, so I'll probably end up just picking up the set as a whole, if I'm honest. I mean, maybe I'll just buy the Romero of Bricklink when I go get a couple of other figures later this year, but the Batmobile really does stand out to me as a great build, and with the Adam West Batman on top, I mean, why not? Moving on to another two sets, which I'm definitely going to pick up, which I think have got way too much hate for what they deserve. We have the Mickey and Minnie brick sketches, which don't look creepy at all. They look great. They will fit perfectly next to the Mickey and Minnie giant statues and to the Disney castle, and they're the perfect set for a really cheap price. You've got a nice selection of colours and prints that have been built up really nicely to create these really accurate caricatures of Mickey and Minnie. I don't understand why people didn't like these. I think they look great. Next up, we have some Brickheadz, and it's a Brickhead Voldemort. Just look at him; he looks so cute. Um, and of course, you've also got Nagini and Bellatrix, and I definitely agree with you from Brickset on this one that the bigger the Brickhead's hair, the better the Brickhead's. Although Voldemort has no hair, and he's probably one of my favourite Brickheads that we've ever seen. Um, they both look great, and I think it's a really great Brickhead pack that I'm really excited to pick up. And they also have the goldfish here, which I think look cute. I've never owned a goldfish, never owned a pet, but they just look cute, and I like the coral piece at the back. So, great set, like goldfish, but Voldemort's better. Then we move into Creator 3-in-1, and this is really special to me, mainly because I haven't liked Creator 3-in-1 set since Vacation Getaways in 2016. And if you ask me, since Vacation Getaways, we have not had a great Creator set until these. We'll get to the crocodile in a second, but I want to talk about the fish tank first, which is obviously a Finding Nemo reference. I don't mind that the fish tank has glass. I think it looks great. It's a nice, cute display piece with some nice alternate models, some great coloured pieces, and great fish. There's a lot going on here that I really like, but even that just pales in comparison to the crocodile. I mean, wow, does that look like a crocodile? Having the last Creator 3-in-1 animal set that I picked up was the 2010 or so 3-in-1 Fierce Creatures, which had a tarantula in the wrong colours, a cobra in the wrong colours, and a fly in the wrong colour. To see a Creator 3-in-1 animal that just looks like that, what? That looks incredibly like a crocodile, and it still feels like Lego. Honestly, I'm so impressed with that crocodile. I just can't put it into words. It's definitely the best Creator 3-in-1 set since Vacation Getaways in 2016. And this is no surprise to anyone that's followed the channel, but Character Pack Wave 3 takes the cake as the best Mario sets from this wave. I love these little guys. They're the perfect balance of CMF and build. They work so well in the Mario system, and I absolutely love the square nature of these characters. In fact, I say I even prefer these guys to minifigure characters. They just work so much better. Some particular standouts for me this time around is the reuse of the swoop, but this time with the hinge. Really great inclusion for me. I absolutely love the amp, and I think the Galumba, Scuttlebug, and Dry Bones, or is that Dry Beetle, are then secondary standouts from there onwards. But I think the amp and the swoop are probably the ones I'll end up picking up, and you'll see why soon. Overall, these guys just continue to impress me, and I honestly don't mind the reuses of stuff like the Paraba Bomb. I just can't get over how much of a clever invention these guys are. Then we move into some Star Wars. Now, trust me, we're getting very close to the end of the list now, so you don't have to listen to me waffle for much longer. But if you have been listening to me waffle, then I assure you these keep getting more interesting. We'll start off on the right with the Ralph and Tonton Dual Pack, and yes, I call my 8080 Ralph. Having got the 2014 8080, which I still need to make a video on a long time ago now, I absolutely love the opportunity to get a baby version of him, especially one that looks so much better than the 2014 Microfighter. Having another 8080 pilot is also a great bonus, and the Tauntaun build also looks really cute, which is something I was not expecting and really elevated my opinion of this set. Having not got a Hoth Luke and missing out on the Hoth Action Battle set from 2019, this is a really great figure to see here, and I can't wait to add him to my Hoth display. And I've just said Hoth a lot, so it's no surprise that I also like the Probe Droid. I really like that opening scene from Empire Strikes Back, and I think the Probe Droid is one of the most memorable droids for me personally. It's great to see more representation as far as the droids go. I mean, we had BB-8, the Porg, R2, and having the Probe Droid here is really great, and he looks stunning. I love the snow base inclusion. It just makes this set look so great. I absolutely love this character build, and I really hope I have the chance to pick this one up. Right, I promised we're getting close to the top. We're in Harry Potter now. It means we're almost there. And Harry Potter has definitely been my favourite wave from the year. I mean, I was really excited for stuff like Jurassic World and the Star Wars summer sets, but to be honest, the only one that fully delivered for me was Harry Potter, and then probably Mario. But Harry Potter did really, really well for me this year, and of course, that starts here with the buildable fat characters. And again, I feel like if you guys know a bit about me on the channel at this point, then these two are very clearly here at the top of the list. I mean, did you expect these guys to be here? They look great. I love seeing minifigures appear in giant forms. I love the Giant Man and all of that stuff, but these guys are even bigger, and it's the perfect way to show 20 years of Lego Harry Potter, in my opinion, and they just look adorable. I can't wait to have these guys on a shelf. They're going to look great next to Mickey and Minnie. They're going to look great next to Big Hogwarts. They're just going to look great on their own. And the fact that they got articulation and they look so much like the minifigures, in particular, I'm impressed, really impressed with Harry's head. Um, oh wow, they're just an incredible set, and I really, really hope we see more, which is why it's really, really important that I buy them. And then chess. I like chess. I like this scene. I like the build. I like Golden Snape. I like the figures. I like chess. It's cool. I like it. I'm really shocked that it's taken this long, but I'm really glad that we finally got it. And then more Hogwarts sets here, and the whole reason I haven't bought any of the 2018 to 2020 Hogwarts sets is because of the grey roofs. Now I know the grey roofs are more accurate and look better, but I have the 2010 Hogwarts, and that has sand green roofs. So before now, I had an excuse to not buy the dark green ones, even though they're more superior and I really like them, because they don't match my set. I don't have that excuse anymore because these guys have sand green roofs and look incredible. Yeah, I already have a great haul, but we'll get back to that in a second. And of course, I've made a modification for this set, changing that great haul on the at the channel already. Go check that video out. And also, to be honest, I watched a video where they changed these roofs to grey, and I didn't like the grey roofs. These guys really stand out having the green roofs, and I think they look incredible. Also, the Chamber of Secrets just sums up everything I've missed in the 2018 to 2020 Hogwarts, having a really nice basilisk, another chance to get the Sorting Hat, Cornish Pixies, Sword of Gryffindor. The minifigure selection is great with the robed characters, the iconic like Dumbledore that's gone back to his original form, the glow-in-the-dark nearly headless Nick, Lockhart, because I'm not going to get Diagon Alley now, and Voldemort, and the cheapified version of Salazar Slytherin head, as well as stuff like Lockhart's office. Oh, it's just a well-rounded Harry Potter set that's going to hopefully look really good next to my 2010 one. I need to get back to mocking that set. As for the bathroom, Golden Harry, Cat Hermione, the changing figures, the chocolate frog cards, that green butterbeer potion, and the fact that the bathroom is so iconic to the chamber, I can't wait to put these two together. They're just the perfect two combination sets. And I think some other things that people haven't pointed out is that the Golden Hedwig were from the Chamber of Secrets. If you just destroy the Great Hall and put the Golden Hedwig next to Golden Harry, that's a perfect combination. And the other thing that I've neglected to point out is that the 3 Harry Potter sets that I'm actually interested in picking up, I would actually get myself a Golden Harry, a Golden Voldemort, a Golden Hedwig, and a Golden Severus, which is basically the entire main cast as far as like golden figures I'd care about. So I think I've planned that really well. And then this is it. The final set of the year, the one that I'm most excited for, and it's the Friends TV show Apartment. Love the Central Perk set. I love the show. I love all of the outfits for the characters here, and of course Phoebe's hair. The references are incredible. The foos table, the canoe, the chick and the duck. My favorite one has to be the cheesecake. I think that's a great one. Having the cupboard full of stuff and the balcony with the pole, Pat the dog, the one where Joey wears all the clothes outfit, and the recliners. Oh, the set is a love letter to the show, and it's a set I've always wanted since they did the Big Bang Theory set, so that I could get that, this, and Central Perk in one building and just make like a sitcom apartment block. I just can't get over how perfect this set is, and I think it's really great that we're finally seeing it and that they've done it such big justice. And Janice, great set. And of course, we now have the hairpiece for the Lego Zelda Customs. Right, that's going to do it for custom sets. I am going to blitz through as fast as possible my most wanted minifigures from the year, and these are ones which don't come in sets which I'm not particularly interested in, just figures that I want from sets. And we're going to start off in the top left with Roadrunner and Coyote, the only Looney Tunes characters that I've ever watched, and the only 2 that I actually want out. That's CMF. If I ever get a chance to feel CMFs again, we have the 2 dragons from Video here on the list, which are 2 great figures that I would never buy the sets for. However, I really like the fact that we're getting more dragons, especially with that human personification. Couldn't care less about the red dragon's torso though, so I think I'll just buy another Series 18 Green Dragon off Bricklink. We also have the Ice Cream Saxophonist, which is just a really funny minifigure that I think I kind of like. We have the Slime Guy, which I can't wait until they make a Sandman Goon of, and the meta reference to the LEGO video beatboxes, which is just something I love seeing. We also have the new Thanos, which I originally thought looked like a bootleg, but I've really warmed around to, especially loving his larger head. We have Mysterio with his green accessories and the new blue helmet and classic look, which I think looks absolutely amazing. The Moo Bloom, which I can't wait to put next to my Moo Shroom, and Firefighter Mickey, which reminds me of my epic Mickey days and the one Mickey minifigure from this year that I absolutely have to pick up. We have the Marvel CMF minifigures, which ones I'm interested in from the rumor list would be the Scarlet Witch, which I think looks incredible, Loki, Captain Britain from the CMF, not the Hydra Stomper, and White Vision. Next up, we have some more minifigures. Gar Saxon looks incredible, but probably won't pick him up. Have no interest in the Clone Wars. This Cyberdrone's reference to the original Spyrius robots looks absolutely amazing. The Video Octopus is a standout, but one I probably won't pick up. Chief What's-His-Face from Ninjago is just a great minifigure and a reference to Islanders. The Woobots are just absolutely wacky. The new Groot looks absolutely incredible and makes me regret buying the brown one because this one is clearly superior. TL Ankylosaur. He's teal and an ankylosaur and a baby and he's teal. The new Doctor Strange from the Marvel sets also really stands out. I had to refilm this video because of him, and that cape looks absolutely amazing. Really glad I didn't buy one off Bricklink. Phantom from Minecraft looks amazing. Bone Gumber and Thrimp particularly stand out for being lava enemies and ones that I'm absolutely going to have to pick up. Hucket Crab looks about average, also really cool. Pirate Goomba is gonna have to make its way on my list because I don't particularly like the airship, but I absolutely love the pirate hat feature, and the Wiggler also stands out. Oh, that was a whistle-stop tour. Again, I apologise for all the rambling, and I hope you guys didn't mind me tripping over my words too much. I'm really tired, and I've got a lot still to film. My voice is now getting tired. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Hope you have opinions. Let me know your favourite set and figure from the summer wave down in the comments below, and let me know what you thought of my somewhat controversial opinions, especially sets that have got some hate on. I think we all need to be a bit more positive about these sets because obviously they're not all aimed at us. There are children that need these sets, not just us. Anyway, that's all I had to say today. I hope you enjoyed. Please consider subscribing for my sanity, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.